Hey, what's happening, guys? It's a beautiful morning here. Oh man, it is beautiful, and the surf is pumping. Not right here, but it's going to be good where we're walking. I just wanted to give this video is details on the tour. So if you're interested in the tour, if you're interested in what's going on, I think you'll enjoy this one. Okay, so I want to talk about what kind of challenges we're at and where we're at mentally and everything. Ray is coming. Stingray and let's see, Stingray and Chime Time is basically Stingray and Jim are on their way. They're driving. Stingray left on the 1st, so should be here maybe in California, maybe about the 7th or 8th, that kind of area. And we're going to be around LA area probably for a couple days, but it depends on who comes and all that. And the plan is to be in Phoenix about a week away. It's kind of the plan right now, but it could change. It could change. Right now we're just getting going, so dates. Forgive us on dates. They're going to be a little bit unknown for the moment. Ozark Summit is coming up, and that's going to be probably a July 4th weekend. That's kind of what I'm thinking. July 4th weekend. That makes the most sense. And I got a lot of emails from guys, so I want to apologize because I just didn't know what was going to happen. And so I didn't know how it was going to work. I know what's in my mind, what I'd like to do. You know, I really want to bring the best. I used to do in Japan every weekend. I would take a bunch of buddies out. We would just jump in my car, and it became like a lot of people that would come. Like, it started out with mostly dudes, and we would do like hardcore camping, like basically illegal camping. Like, we just go for the weekend, and we'd go to the beach, and we'd go to the mountains, and we would just go to cool places, and we would set up tents afterwards, late at night after the sun went down, and then we would just end up exploring like new parts of Japan. And I did that all over Japan. I did the whole coast. I did like basically I knew the town. I knew Japan by foot. I knew everything about like every street corner south of Tokyo. You know, we had either been there or we had camped there. Or we had, you know, over the 16 years I was in Japan. And I got a very, you know, I got a very unique perspective on Japan. And what was interesting for me was I originally did it because I didn't have enough money and I wanted to travel every weekend, right? I was like, I want to do this because Japan was very expensive, right? It would cost, you know, like most people, my friends would spend at least $400 or $500 for a weekend, you know, just to go somewhere. And just to go somewhere and get a room and basically go to a hotel, go to a restaurant and things like that. They'd spend like $400 or $500. And it was just crazy to me. I just couldn't understand it because I had traveled the world when I was young. And my family, we didn't have much money, so we used to camp, you know, wherever we could camp. We're basically 3 kids and no money. What do you do, right? You know, mom's hand-me-downs and all that. So we did a lot of that kind of stuff when I was growing up. And also, you know, sometimes we don't realize our unique backgrounds. But I grew up in the 70s in California mainly, but also like I said, a lot of small towns before I moved here, and trailer parks and fucking tumbleweed fucking towns. So like I said, a lot of my personality was formed then, but a lot of the real time was here in California. And at that time, this place was a kind of a commune center. Like there was like Israel, like the concept from Israel of communes was very rife here, man. Hippies. When I grew up, I didn't even know what a hippie was. Like that was kind of a lot of people around me were hippies, you know, and I didn't even know what they were. I just thought they were just the neighbor, you know. Like, you know, there was stuff that looking back, there was like basically there was like sex cults and hippies and, you know, all kinds of weird religious cults going on all around me. And for me, it was just normal because the kids, whatever they're exposed to is normal, right? And but you know, actually, it was for me. I really think, and I think this is like a good strategy for you, for life. Take the best of everything you experience, and leave the rest. So you can experience like a cult or a Christian church or a fire or a disaster. And there's always something to learn from it. You know, like people are very flexible and they help each other in these disasters, you know. And so it can be very exciting. You can actually take the best, even of a very strange situation, like a fire or a an extreme earthquake or whatever, you know. That's kind of what I've done. So I want to take for this tour, I want to take the best ideas I have from my Japan trips, from my trip around the world. I learned a lot about around the world. I got invaluable experience, actually. 13 months. I went to, I don't know how many countries. It was like 26 countries when I was on my trip to Asia. And I got to see a lot of the world, and I stayed in youth hostels. I met famous people. It was like, basically it was fucking, here's what it was. It was doghouse to the penthouse. So one night it was the doghouse, and the next night it was looking over the city, you know. And it was like craziness. It was crazy how varied everything was. Just madness, like total fucking madness. By the way, I can't see any comments right now because it's too bright, so I can't see. So I can't read the comments. I'll have to read them afterwards. But so basically, what I'm saying is, this is going to be a unique tour, and it's going to be the beginning of one of many. So the guys who come, who want to be part of this, be flexible. You got to be flexible, and willing to, like, you know. Let's see. Are we back on? Are we back on? Sorry about that. Might have lost you there. I don't know how much. How much did you lose there? Did you lose some? Did I lose anybody there? Let's see. Let me see if I can see here. All right, guys. Thanks for hanging in there. Yeah. So the tour is going to be. It requires a very flexible person, but there's going to be, like, it's going to be so fun. Like, this tour is going to be unlike anything you've ever done, because it's going to be combining my experience of all my experiences, like all my travel experiences, all my, you know, hippie experiences as a kid, and Japan experiences. It's going to be like caravan type situation. I know a lot of guys emailed me asking about the caravan, and I was kind of like, I was very non-committal because I was starting to wonder, I was starting to worry, like, how are we going to get this done? How are we going to organize this when there's so many unknowns, basically? And then this morning, I finally realized, I thought, that's it. Announce the fucking unknowns. And the guys that are willing to do that are going to do that. You know? So there's going to be a lot of unknowns. There's going to be a lot of, it's going to be somewhat like my life. So doghouse to the penthouse. We're going to have some very nice nights and some very nice places. And then we'll be sleeping in someone's garage another night. So it's going to be a mix. And we're going to do a bunch of things. We're going to do, like, for example, we're going to have summits. The Ozark Summit's coming up. Probably July 4th weekend. It can't be any later because the guys have something to do. So it's going to be on or before July 4th weekend. Ozark Summit. I know some guys from New York want to come. So you guys definitely contact me, and we're going to make this happen. It's going to be awesome. Ozarks, I can't wait. I'm really looking forward to it. It's a place I've wanted to go for a long time. So that's going to be fun. And I can already feel the vibe already brewing. The chemistry is brewing, and the chemistry is good. So that'll be the first official event. But here's what I'm thinking is that if we want to start doing the caravan thing and someone's flexible, and, you know, like, it'd be best if you have a car, right? Or if you can get somebody else who has a car and come together, you know, that kind of thing. So I don't know how we're going to organize it, because it's going to be a lot of different people. But once you feel the vibe, then it'll be easy, because you'll understand, right? Once we're all hanging out, we'll be like, okay, let's do this. That didn't work out so well, so let's try this tonight. Or, you know, we'll be flex. We'll be flex. But I'll tell you, man, here's the fucking thing. Okay, there are unknowns, okay, on this tour. Definitely. There's going to be unknowns. But I tell you something, man, life is so known these days. Everything's like set in stone. I think this is why kids are depressed, is they look around and there's like, everything's illegal. You can't do this, you can't do that. Everything's been invented, everything's been done. And that's why people feel like, it's like, I tell you, man, there's a fucking boat over here. There's a boat over that, see that point out there? There was a boat there, it just sunk. But that fucking boat had these tours, and I was so sad. I used to go there. I used to walk around there at night sometimes for the sunset and stuff. And there was this boat, right? And there was tours for kids. And basically what they did is they talked like a pirate, and they had this boring speech, and you could hear it because you walked by the boat, right? And I remember thinking, man, when I was a kid, we were wild. Like, we were fucking wild. Falling out of trees, getting the wind knocked out of us, branches, falling onto cactuses head first, falling through skylights head first into toilets, breaking teeth, like that was like normal for me. That really was normal for me. Skateboarding, breaking my nose. I had to straighten my nose with my hand. That was the worst pain I've ever remember having in my whole life. Was my nose. I broke it so bad. I did an aerial and landed. Grabbed my board underneath my feet, going straight down like 18 feet, and I like nose first. I landed with the full weight of my body and just crushed my nose sideways, and I couldn't see because the tears were streaming down my face. And so I stepped onto a rusty nail that went all the way through my foot, actually, all the way through my shoe and my foot. So I had a rusty nail through my foot and a broken nose. And then I straightened it. I straightened it with my hand. I thought, well, I'll straighten this, because I had heard somewhere on the internet, no, that's before the internet, I had heard from a friend that you could straighten your nose, it wasn't bone or something. So I was like, okay, so I decided I was going to pound it straight. So I pounded my nose with my fist and straightened it out. It worked, but I tell you, man, the pain on that was insane. And I walked home, and it was raining and muddy. I was in a barn. I had turned a barn into a skateboard ramp. So I fucking had to put a plastic bag. I duct taped a plastic bag onto my foot, and I walked through the mud back home with the rusty nail through my foot. Well, I'd already taken it out. I had stepped on it, I guess it had been sticking up from the ramp. Anyway, I came home like that with the broken nose. My mom was like, "What? How do you do these things?" But that kind of been my life. Like, I like experimentation. I like these kind of things. I like learning. I like learning the hard way. I like getting out there. I like seeing things. And I'm talking about the fucking world here, you guys. I'm not just talking about some fucking little city next to your town. Like, I really like getting out there. And I like to bring my kind of sense of exploration of the world. And also very inexpensive too. Like, I don't spend money. I'm very cheap, I just don't see the value in spending money on things. I just don't get it. You know what I mean? Like, it's not that I can't, or I just don't get it. I just don't, like, life is beautiful. Like, I don't need to spend, I don't see how money makes these trees any better. Like, doesn't make it just doesn't, I don't know. I just think a lot of people are brainwashed about this stuff. I really do. I think a lot of people are brainwashed. I don't understand. Life is very, very simple and awesome, And I want to do a tour with a bunch of guys. So if you want to join, what I'm gonna have to do, I'm gonna have to put below the video this details, because I can't get all these emails. There's just too many emails. So I got to have somebody who's in charge, like a manager, who's like, okay, this guy wants to come at this city. He's got this. He's going to join us here. He's agreed to this. So we're going to have it's somewhat flexible. So don't add me right now on anything for now. Let me think of the best solution so that we can make it so that it makes sense. So that, you know what I mean? It makes sense. And you get your emails answered in time, because if you're sending me an email right now, it's going to be too many. You know what I mean? Like, it's just going to be too many. So I need somebody to volunteer to be that kind of gatekeeper, organizer type person. And hopefully somebody who's going to come, who's going to be here on the tour, right? So it could be one of the guys coming. It could be Chime Time or Ray or somebody else. So let me know if you want to be that kind of organizer type person. But I want to open it up. Yeah, I want to open it up. I want to open up the possibility that we're going to do the whole thing together, half together, whatever makes sense for you. We're going to figure out ways. We're going to figure out ways to make it happen. So we're going to do. We need places to stay too. So if you have a house, let's say in Phoenix, or let's see, Phoenix, Denver, or Salt Lake are three cities that are like pretty tough for us, because driving wise, it makes sense to stay in those places to spend the night, because they're kind of somewhat isolated on the tour, on the road we're going. So if you have a place there, if you got a yard, if you got a garage, we have camping gear, so we're not really concerned with that kind of thing. But we do need a safe place to stop, charge up things, eat, charge up a bit, get a little bit, explore the area and all that. So if you have a house that we can crash in somewhere, whether it's a garage, whether it's a mansion like my friend in LA, doesn't matter. If you're into it, let me know, and then we will we can contact you and put you on the list. We'll have a question to ask, make sure that you understand everything, because it has to be solid. Like, the guy's got to know that we're going to stick together. Everything's going to be fine. I think that's the main thing, And so when someone volunteers, it's got to be like, okay, like, I'm serious. Like, no matter what happens, I'm here. You know what I mean? Like, rock solid. Guys volunteering houses got to be rock solid. Your schedule can't change. You can't suddenly change. Oh, we can only have 2 guys. It's got to be like, no, we got this kind of room. I got a garage. As long as you guys can fit in the garage, you know what I mean? I got a yard. Here's my yard. Here's how big it is. As long as you guys can fit in there, it's all good. That kind of thing. So that's the kind of that's it. We don't need beds and you know what I mean, like sheets and all that. It's like, that's not the thing. And I think once you get a taste of this tour, you're gonna be stoked. You're gonna be stoked. You're gonna want to come on more. And so we're doing it. We're starting here in a few days. If you want to go look down in the comment box, or in the description box, I'll put the person to contact. You could send me an email for now. Hey, roninmigtow@gmail.com. Send me an email just saying, hey, the tour, like, maybe, yeah, do that. Send me an email. That's the best way to start. And then I can forward the emails to somebody else. And then just say, look, this place to this place, or I've got a house for this date to this date. If you're volunteering your house or your yard or your land or something, then give specifics. Give your phone number, your email. So we have a couple different ways to contact you in case one doesn't work for whatever reason. So we need to make sure we can contact you. In fact, if you're doing a house or land or place to sleep, then maybe best to add me on Telegram, Ronin Free. But if you're going to come on the tour, then just email me. So let's do that. Two different ways. Let's see what else. We've got a pretty big plan, actually. I don't have it in front of me, so I can't really read it out. But we're going to a bunch of cities, and we've already got a bunch of houses where people are stoked about hanging out. One guy I know in Atlanta's got like a big house, and he's super stoked. So that's we're gonna have. If you've never seen the States in this way, you're gonna fucking have so much fun. Oh my God. And I think too, with all these riots going on and everything, with the riots, with coronavirus, all the curfews and stuff, this is what's gonna make it interesting. I tell you, I have traveled my whole life, and I have found, and this is just my experience, but when things are in chaos is the best time to travel. People are the most real, and you tend to see things on a more real basis. You get more real information. People are they're just more honest, and they're just, and things are, they're not cookie cutter, right? They're not cookie cutter. People are more flexible. So I think it's going to be a good time to travel, actually. I did a road trip here during coronavirus. It was fucking great, man. It was one of the best ideas I've had in a long time. We had so much fun. So I think it's going to be more of that. So that's all I can say. Let's see. We're going to have New York Summit, of course. Looks like Tampa Summit, probably, or Florida something Summit is a possibility. One day, for you guys that just want to come one day, we're going to have one-day things. And maybe here's one way to think about it. You could come to a one-day thing or come to a summit and then suss it out if you want to come on more stuff, right? If you want to hang out, if you want to caravan it, right? That's a good way to do it, actually, because you'll get a sense of the vibe of what's going down and also what's required, because when you do something like this, you got to have guys got to be able to get along, right? There's going to be different kinds of personalities, there's very different ages of guys coming. And so one thing that's been really great for me is the vibe has always been fucking great, and that's, if the vibe wasn't great, I wouldn't do this thing. Like, I would, no fucking way. I got better things to do, no way. But the reason why I do these things is because the vibe is fucking awesome. Like, the guys are on fire, everybody's helping each other, fucking dudes are stoked, like, good surprises happen like all the time, because somebody's like, hey, I heard this, or this guy said this, and let's go do that, and I heard this information, we're getting all this great information. And so, and also it's the enthusiasm too. It's the guys are fucking stoked, right? So I want to say that this is my goal. This is my goal. So I want. I mean, to me, this is paradise. You know, getting along with guys, having fun, being free in real time. You know, not just mentally on the fucking internet. You know, everybody talks about freedom and everything on the internet. And then meanwhile, the guy's, I mean, he's just sitting at his computer, right? Talking about freedom, you know? Freedom is moving around. Freedom is seeing new shit. Freedom is new friends. Freedom is new ideas. Freedom it's not a set menu, you know? Freedom is the unknown, you know? Freedom is having to work things out because they're not set in stone, you know? So that's what freedom is. So it's kind of a freedom tour, you know. You know, men's freedom tour. I don't know what we're gonna call it. I put RWT as a little message to one of my friends, but you know, I don't know what we're eventually gonna call it. So we can have a vote what to call it. It doesn't matter. We'll come up with something funny, something good. But yeah. So there's kind of what I'm thinking. I'm leaving in a few days. I'm in Orange County right now. The first couple days are going to be, it's pretty, you know, this area is pretty, what do you call it? It's crowded and it's expensive. So like the first couple days, I don't know how much space we're going to have. And also my friends that I'm doing this with, these first couple days, I don't know. I'm not sure how flexible they're going to be, but after these first 2 nights, it's going to blow open. It's going to blow open. I did a tour before of the U.S. like this, and I talked about it in one of the episodes with my buddy Demi. So he was on one of the episodes, and we talked about it. And it was like, we were both just laughing. It was like one of the highlights of our life. So that's kind of my goal for this thing. That's my ultimate goal. What's the real goal? Is to make this a highlight of life type tour. So there you are. There you are. All right, guys. Thank you very much. Sorry I can't read your comments. Let me see. Maybe I can see the comments now. Let me see if I can see the comments. Subscribe to your channel for 2 years. Don't recall. Pay for travel other than YouTube. Can you share? Let's see. USC. USC. Oh, no way. Okay. That's close by. Yeah, probably our first night's going to be in Redondo Beach. That's probably where it's going to be. Let's see here. Looking to retiring early. Malaysia, Vietnam, Thailand. Nice. Yeah. No, it's not about, here's the thing about travel. It's not that one place is better than the other. It's about you need variety. You want to see options. If there's only one store, it might be a pretty good store. Like in the military, you got the PX, right? And the PX is pretty good, it's got good prices and stuff. But in the end, you end up wanting to go to different stores and get different things, right? And travel's like this too. But you got to see different things to know different things, to really know, what it is you want. Maybe you think you want to go to Thailand and you go there and then you think, no, I don't want to go to Thailand. Maybe I wanted to go to Thailand in the 80s, but not now, right? So things can change. So here's the problem. Here's the thing. The guy who said he's thinking of retiring, a lot of guys, they have this big plan, right? Like, this is the opposite of the tour, by the way. This idea, this thinking is like where you're hoping and thinking and waiting, and then you finally have to make a very big, irreversible decision, and then you do it, right? The best way, in my opinion, is to be always on the move, always traveling, always seeing in real time with your own eyes and gathering information. And then so that when you make it, and then when you do make a move, don't make a permanent move. Make a move that's like kind of permanent, but not permanent, where you have flexibility. And then that this place might suck. You just don't know. You don't like if you're going to like it, right? You don't know this one, the Thailand might not be the place for you. And especially right now, post coronavirus, I heard it's good, but you never know, right? Could change, right? Cambodia and Thailand are totally different places. There's not even anything similar almost. Thailand and Cambodia are just absolutely different places. Cambodia is the Wild West, and it's got a lot of violence, a lot of robberies. Like if I had my phone out like this for this long, somebody would have stole it by now. If I was holding my phone like this, So there's a lot of issues in different places. So you got to know these issues before. And that's what's so great about travel like this, is you're not making a big commitment. You're just kind of cheaply going out and seeing a lot of things, learning a lot of things. And then later you can be like, you can make a more informed decision in life. Because it's like, kind of Tim Ferriss talked about it. It's like you're living, like a lot of guys, they're living for retirement or they're living for vacation or whatever. It's like just hoping and waiting, and then they go, and then often it's not what they want, but it's like they figure, well, this is better than working, right? But there's so much more, man. Fuck, there's so much more. But you only find it if you go and see a lot of stuff. And people will say, well, you need a lot of money. You don't need a lot of money. That's one of the big things. You don't need a lot of money to travel. You can travel very, very cheap and hippie, and that's my goal. My goal is to make this tour very inexpensive. For a lot of guys, my tour is going to be cheaper per day than where you are right now. I bet you. I can almost guarantee it, actually. If you're willing to play ball and go along with everything we're doing, And we're going to be eating better, too, and getting better exercise and all that, right? Ooh, waves are picking up, man. It's fucking swell. Down there, it's big. Not there, like past that pier. There's going to be big waves. Let's see here. What does this say? The post-COVID crisis is here. Thailand is exciting, seems open to opportunities. Yeah. No, you're there and you're living the dream. You've got it all set up and you're doing stuff that and so is Adam, right? You guys are right there. But for a new guy, it might be different though. Just gonna say that. Stumbleness like stream, pretty cool. Yay! All right, good. Welcome, man. I'm in Orange County right now. Yeah. This is gonna be group. Somewhat group hippie style, but not exactly, because I got a lot of rich friends too. So like we might be like, when I say doghouse to the penthouse, I'm not kidding. I think one of the things in life is you get good at something, right? You get good at being a hippie, and I'm a good hippie, right? Big time. But then you think, well, what else can I do? You get bored after a moment, and you think, I want to experience the full. It's almost like music, right? You get into like one type of music and you're like really into it. And then you think, you realize there's so much more in life. You want to get into like different kinds of music and different kinds of travel. And for me, I love to be able to, one day I'm, let's say traveling hippie style, and I have like say one nice shirt, like a nice shirt and a pair of jeans and a decent pair of shoes. And literally the next day I'm in Mocha in New York, and I'm talking to some, completely different type of people than I've been talking to the night before, and they're inviting me out to an event, and that night I'm at an event, and there's like it's a very there's music, it's very different than before. And the next night we get invited to golf course, we're playing golf, and really in the moment, right? Really into golf, right? I love golf. Like I fucking love golf, and then that's one aspect of my personality. One aspect of my life, right? Of my likes. I think the more things like that, where you can really like, you walk through the world with ease, You walk through the world with ease. Like whatever it is, man. If it's a 5-star hotel, it's like, yeah, man. There's a lot of good things in a 5-star hotel. There's a lot of good things in a junkyard. There's a lot of good things in a road construction site. There's a lot of good things in a riot, There's a lot of good things in to see, to learn, to experience in a campfire and in a group discussion of guys trying to make serious decisions about something, whether it's some kind of I don't know, like where a group needs to make a big decision and and then also there's a lot to be gained from corporate world. Like for myself, I personally, I'm very flexible. I can put on a suit and I can be making a speech in front of a lot of people, a very serious speech in front of a lot of people on stage at a corporate event. And I can be talking to them and I can be grooving on what they're good at. Because corporate guys they're kind of interesting, actually. I don't want to be in that world permanently, but I see that there is some real maturity in some corporate guys. That, like, I'm talking the good ones, you know what I mean? Like the guys who get shit done, the negotiators, the partners, and then like there's amazing talents in there, and talking to them, working with them, understanding them, My friend was the president of a company when I was younger, and he really turned me on to the interest, like the, I don't know, like a lot of people would think he was kind of some kind of like faceless Illuminati guy, you know, but actually it was quite interesting, his life, for me. Once I realized the decisions he had to make, you know, like a lot of things, like right now with the lockdown, right? There was one thing I often read is like people said, you know, like if we're going to have lockdown or not have lockdown, they'd say, well, you're going to kill people because you're going to open too early, right? But the thing is when you are a serious decision maker, like a corporate guy or a government guy, or like a big entrepreneur, you always make decisions like that. There always is a decision. This train, every mile an hour it goes extra, there's a chance that somebody else will be killed. And every one it goes slower, there's costs. So there's a balance you always have to make. A mature man is able to make a very serious decision about life and death, and really put his heart into it, and really make the best decision that he possibly can. But there's always going to be compromises. Every mile an hour you go faster, there's going to be kids getting hit on that track, right? And you know, there's so many factors, right? So it's the ability to weigh all these factors in life, and to make the wisest decision you could possibly make. That there is something valuable in that, right? You know, and there's something valuable in being free, and there is something valuable in planning something, like real long-term planning, like planning a city 20 years in advance, planning the development of a city. You know, that's something that's very interesting to me. So there's many aspects. So on the tour, we're going to be like in various situations, and you know, get ready for some variety. There's going to be some real fucking variety coming at you. And that's really, once you do it, you'll be like, wow, he's right. Like, this is the best way. Like one way all the time. It just gets, this is the way most people live. They have one choice, right? They are a Harley guy, right? They are a corporate guy. They are a dirtbag, right? They are a school teacher. You know, they are this, they are that. And they have these rigid personas. You should go listen to the Persona, Are You Wearing a Mask video, because that talks a little bit about this. But I think the key is to stride through the world with ease, where you can kind of do anything, where you could really enjoy, you know, being a gardener here, you know, and you know, because there is a lot of gardening actually, even though this looks like wilderness, there's a lot of gardening goes on here. Like they planted a lot of things that you wouldn't notice if you're not local. But like that cactus there, that cactus was planted 100%. This one here, that one up in that was planted, and that was decided, right? I think these yellow flowers were added. I think there's quite a few things were added, because I used to come here as a kid before these trails, when it was just wilderness, and it was more like this. It was like that was the general. There was no real cactuses up here, but now they added them, and they're quite a nice addition, right? So like here's the complexity. Here's the thing is, like, so people will say, well, do you like nature or do you like basically buildings and roads, right? And then people will say, well, I think we should develop, you know. So I like both. Like that cactus, 100% was added, 100%. That's cultivated. That's why there's nothing around it. It's like it was set there, but 99% of people would not realize that, right? But there's an enjoyment in creating the world. Like these guys are creating, right? It's easy to say, okay, I like nature, because then you just sidestep responsibility, let nature do it, right? Or you do it yourself, you're going to control everything, right? There's that middle ground where you're flexible, where you see both, and you also see the benefit of half and half or whatever. You know what I mean? Like that's really what it's seeing those various sides. And being that flexible person that can stride through the world with ease, or one day you're this, and the next day you're really enjoying this other thing, you know? And because part of the reason why I enjoy it is because I know that it's not going to last forever, right? I can be in a corporate thing. I can go do a corporate speech event or whatever. I got invited to one a couple years ago, and it was really fun, actually. And then I really had a great time. Like, honestly, I had a fucking great time. I really did. But then it was over. And I was like, I made a bunch of friends that were like that. And it was funny because they're still my friends now. But they would never, I would never know these guys if it wasn't for this event. You know what I mean? Like, there's no way. So, that's the other thing. We're going to stay at some of my friends' houses. I got a really eclectic group of friends. So some of them, like totally off the channel, are going to be, are offering houses, and things and stuff like that. So I need people that can, like, you got to be able to be, like, discreet too, because if we're staying at somebody's house, if somebody's got some land and a family, and they're not obviously this is a Ronin man, so we got to be able to enjoy and hang out with them and see the value in that. And it's the same thing I say about women. I love women, and people. There's no way you can't. It's like I don't like a lot of things that are going on today, and I think a lot of things. The part of the reason why I do this is that you can change things. But as we go through the world, we're going to find a lot of different kinds of people, and there is a lot of enjoyment in that. Like, not just kinds of people, but different kinds of experiences. Like, maybe somebody's going to come up with a business idea. Maybe a bunch of guys are going to start a restaurant. They're going to start a delivery service. So, that's one thing. I tell you, this is what I'm always thinking, just because it's good for my brain and also it's good for my pocketbook, is whenever I'm traveling, like now, I'm always kind of looking at what's happening. Like, for example, I'll be thinking, like, when I see a lot of restaurants are closing, right? This is one of my ideas right now. A lot of restaurants are closing, tons. And I've always thought American restaurants pretty much suck. Like, I like the Thai or the Chinese, where there's a guy on the street, he's got to fucking walk, he's got a fire, he's got to walk. And I like also in China, they used to have, like, there'd be a chair in the park, and then that was a massage chair. It was a regular chair, but it was just a chair. And then if you sat there, somebody would come up and give you a massage. You'd give them like $1, and you get a nice massage in the park. I remember getting a massage from a guy, a blind guy, watching the sunset in a park for like $1, and it was unbelievable. And then another one, there was a chair, and then I sat in. I didn't even know what it was, and it turns out it was a haircut guy. So guy came up and cut my hair. He has scissors and stuff. He cut my hair in the park, and it gave me a lot of ideas about business. I think in America, it's too rigid. It's way too rigid. We need street food. We need more practical things. But I think what's going to happen with this whole coronavirus thing is a lot of these businesses that are highly leveraged are going to go bankrupt. But I don't necessarily think, of course, there's going to be tragedies. Don't get me wrong. Terrible, terrible tragedies. But at the same time, there will be growth. Just like the fires in Australia. Now there's a lot of growth. The media doesn't report it. But there's green coming up everywhere in Australia right now. A lot of, like there was a necessary cleaning out of the old, right? So that this happens, right? This happens. And of course, it's terrible when it happens. But in the end, new ideas come. So I think there's going to be new ideas for businesses that are less capital intensive and more flexible. Because the one thing I noticed around here, I don't know about where you guys are, but where I am, the takeout places, okay, like the Mexican takeout places, they, like Golondrinas, there's a place called Golondrinas. That place offers really great food, okay? It's very, very authentic. It's very cheap. But they don't have a place to sit. They never have a place to sit. And it's takeout. Now, that place has been rocking business ever since the coronavirus. Everybody's going to Golondrinas now. Because truthfully, the food is better than in the restaurants that are closed. And it's way cheaper. So I think there's a realism. There's a flexibility that's coming to the American people where they're like, hey, I'll try something new, food-wise, I don't need a waiter. I don't need a fucking, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to be tipping people. I want something that good food, flexible, fast, cheap, tasty, And I think that there's going to be options. There's going to be opportunities we're going to see as we go out, especially when you go to different states. You get business ideas like crazy because you're looking at how things are really working, not reading the papers anymore. You're actually watching it. Like, you're in Minneapolis, you're in, Cincinnati. You're in St. Louis, and you're looking at stuff, and sometimes business ideas become very obvious when you travel with the eye that I travel. So you could say it's hippie, but in a sense, it's business development, because I'm always thinking of ideas. And the thing is, the reason why I think of business ideas is not because I want to start a business necessarily. It's the best brain food there is. It is great brain food, is to look at the world and think of what could work and what couldn't, and then to make a call. So you say, this could work, this would work, and then it doesn't work, and then you see somebody do it, and then you learn, oh, I was wrong, and I didn't understand this one factor. And so you become wiser with every time that you man up and make a call. You don't just here's what most people do when it comes to business. They'll say, they'll have 100 ideas, right? And then one idea will be successful they had. And they'll say, I had that idea. Oh, I would be rich if I had that. But the truth is they had 99 ideas that would have failed. So they would have been a failure, 100%. Because that one idea, they wouldn't live long enough to do 100 businesses, right? So the thing about business is you got to be super honest with yourself, super realistic. So what I do is I make a call. I'll tell my friends, that's a great idea. That will make money. And then later my friends will say, that didn't work. And I'll be like, you're right. That fucking was wrong. Because I didn't understand this and that and this and that. And that's the goal. See, it's not about necessarily starting a business, but when you go through these ideas, you're going to come up with ideas. And sometimes they're so good, you're like, it's totally obvious. You're like, and also sometimes other people want to go in with you. They're like, dude, that idea is great. And that kind of flexibility, like I probably think myself, I probably consider 3 serious business ideas a day. I'm always thinking of stuff. Always. It might even be 300, but I'm going to call it 3. I'm always like, that is old and stupid. Like, the more you see the world, you realize just how lame everything is. Like the local businesses here, like they are lame, man. They are so lame. I can't, people are crying because they're closing. A lot of the local businesses here, I'm thinking like, why are they even in business? It's like, it could be so much better, right? So that's creating a better world, right? That's what helps with business, right? Let's see. You have to choose carefully a good and honest partner. I think no. I think you have to really learn to do what I'm saying right now, which is go through millions of ideas and analyze them and be honest with yourself, and then to make a call. In that sense, it's choose wisely. I guess choose wisely is something that needs to be defined. But as far as the other thing you said, let's see here. A good and honest partner? No. To me, the best business is on your own. Big time. I've had partners, and an idea, think about this. If I had a partner for Ronin Man, let's say like somebody offered to be a partner. They wanted to sponsor Ronin Man in the beginning. If I would have partnered with that guy, I guarantee you, he would have influenced my content. He would have said, that's too controversial. That's like this, that's like that. For me, the best idea is you don't need a partner. And business partnerships, this is the first thing I learned in business school, was that business partnerships, on average, globally lose money. Sole proprietorships and corporations are, if you look at the aggregate of businesses, they're the only businesses who make money. So think about that one. Think about that one very, very seriously before you go out like, oh, you need a partner. You need an honest partner. A lot of times why people got ripped off is not because the partner's not honest, but it's because they have flaws that they can't see, and the other person gets tired of them. So it's not always so clear. Business is a very interesting topic. Let's see. When am I going to show my face? I show my face at all the events. So what I'm talking about here. I can't read your name. When are you going to show my face? Did you hear the topic? We're talking about a tour. My body, my feet, and my face will be there. Some guys will be wearing masks, but, we'll be there. So, it's, I am there. I am the only guy I know on YouTube that does live events like this. I take a lot of chances. I've taken a lot of chances, learned how to do them right. And I'm chumming the waters right now for people that think like me. That's what I'm doing. I'm chumming the waters and finding friends I can relate to. And together we can do stuff. For people I don't know, who don't commit, who don't care, why? What does it matter? Like, it doesn't matter to me, It really doesn't, it's like whatever, My whole purpose is chum the waters. Chum the waters for people that actually think, because I look at most of the world and it's just doing all these insane things. I don't understand. I don't see any value in that, right? But when I find people that are similar, or like we have similar, like our logic processes are somewhat, you know what I mean? That's when I start getting into stuff that we can actually do stuff together and experience things together and grow and learn together, right? Random people, it's like, I don't know. There's not much I can say about that. Yeah, nomad at heart. Yeah, speaking to the soul, man, the soul. That's right. It is the fucking soul. It's true. It's like the soul of man, something that's, man's soul is never considered by society. Women's soul is really important. What women really want, that really matters. That's so important. Now, I'm not saying it isn't important. It is. We're talking about the soul here. Of course it's important. This is like one of the most important things. But what about men? What about your son? What about your dad? What about you? Of course, man. It's fucking the soul, man. There's something there. The spirit, the energy that you have. And it changes over time, right? As you learn new things. Your soul takes detours, right? Let's see here. I'm trying to see more comments. Thank you very much. James Moss. Dude, yeah, you're coming out, man. You're fucking coming out. Dude, if you come, just to give it a little shout to Jim, if you come, dude, the thing is, it's like I said, like this guy's house is like huge and amazing. So you should come, but we'll have to figure out a way that we can go and like have a few guys in his place. And then I'd like to see his world, I want to see his world. I want to see LA from his perspective. Yeah, it's the face thing is actually an interesting topic. It's a very interesting topic because people that listen to me and people that see my face when they first meet me, often, they say don't judge a book by its cover, right? People do that, actually, and by the ideas, man. That's what it's about. It's not about the face. It's about the ideas. When you talk about a soul, the soul, like the spirit, the things that you want to do in life, the things that motivate you and the things that make you miserable, the things that make, when a guy wants to commit suicide or when a guy is bored and depressed, that's the soul, right? The soul's fucked up. Something's wrong there, right? And so when I express myself without showing my face, it's very interesting for me because what's really interesting is that a different type of person comes. And then when we meet in person, we're always like, wow, you look like that. Like, wow, And then you realize how bullshit it is the way you look. It's the only time in my life I've ever been accepted on something that isn't because of the way I look, except for my writings. I write and I do things and I do videos, but I did some stuff that got very viral that I wrote once. And I was amazed because they took it very seriously what I wrote. But my face, people always see me more as an athlete or something like that. They don't see me as like what I really am, my real being. And then I read people's comments, and then when I go meet them, I'm always like totally amazed by how they look. Like this, you guys that are here, you that don't go to the events yet, you don't realize how diverse the fucking group is. And I don't mean that like diversity is our strength type bullshit. I'm talking the real deal. What that they're really trying to do with this diversity thing. Like you will be amazed at the guys who come. Like you'll be like, whoa, holy shit. Like there's all kinds of guys because the spirit is the same, man. We got tons of like, I'm sure Kenya Man in Africa is listening. I just got a couple emails from this morning. You will be amazed at the type of guys that come. Like really variety, man. Like really variety. One guy who's probably going to come, I hope he comes, Carlos. I don't want to say his situation, but it's interesting. It's different than everybody else that's here. And there's a lot of guys like that. So, I think the face thing, man, this thing ain't about the face. The only thing is, here's what I will say about the face. The face, as I mentioned before, is connected to my body, which is connected to my feet and my hands and shit, right? So when we do meet in person, the reason why it is important is because there's only so much trust you can get on YouTube. There's only so much you can change your life. The real changes come when you meet in person, I think. Although I have talked to guys who've made big changes based on just watching my videos. Lost 60 pounds, changed jobs, got divorced, they're doing well, started new careers. I get emails like that. But I personally think that there's a deeper level of change that happens once we meet in person. Like Jim, the guy I was just talking to. We met in Australia. And it's when you realize that the guy's not bullshit. You know, you realize that this is real. Like, you're like, holy shit, I actually don't have to be a fucking slave. Like, I actually can fucking find people that are not slaves, you know? And then it's like, oh my God, like, fuck. Oh my God, like, holy shit. It changes everything. It changes everything. The guys that go to the summits, everybody stops at each other's fucking house. I get emails all the time. And on Telegram, there's always pictures of people, we met up here. Here we are in fucking XYZ place, you know. Hey, you know, and it's like, what are you guys doing? We're having a great time. We're talking about this. You know, like, it's not just an event. It's like, then now you know the people, right? Now you're friends. So it's like, you know, shit goes down, right? And I get messages sometimes with 3 or 4 guys, 5 guys together. And I'm like, no way, you guys all got together. Fucking A. You know, so there is something about the face, but I think the face is later. The face, the body, the spirit, you know, the physical presence, it is important because in the end, we need real things, you know. We need real shit. You know, and ideas are real too, and concepts are real. But it's kind of like what I was talking about, being able to go to the doghouse to the penthouse, is that you kind of need it all to really trust, to really change, to really grow. So I think that face to face, if you want to see faces, you know, you definitely got to come to one of these events. And the thing is, and here's the thing, guys, is that the dudes are tough. Like, you got to fucking up your game. Like, you can't just fucking be, like talking one way and then you come in person and the guys that quickly figure shit out. Like, the guys are smart to come to the events. Like, really, you'd be surprised. There's a lot of smart guys come, you know, like very, very smart guys, all kinds of walks of life. And so it helps you just to up your game, just to be around smart guys, you know, because sometimes, you know, we need somebody to point things out that we didn't realize, you know. Somebody will do something and then we'll realize, oh my God, I've never done that. Like, oh my God, I've been ignoring that. Oh my God, I had this insecurity about this. That's why I didn't do it. And then it all comes clear. And then you realize, oh my God, I'm with people I can trust. I can actually tell this to. You know, I can say I was insecure about that. That's why I didn't do that. And I saw that guy do that. And now I realized that's fucking amazing. Like, I always wanted to do that, but I could never do it. And then the guys are like, nobody's laughing. Everybody's like, yeah. They're like, oh yeah. And the guy himself might be like, actually, I was like that too, you know. I was pretty insecure about it, but I decided, I saw everybody that did that, like for yoga, right? I saw everybody did yoga as a certain type of person or having a political viewpoint or whatever. And then once I did it, you know, like Charlie who's on the thing here got me into it. And like once I did it, I realized it was nothing like that. It was like amazing. Like I was like, me of all guys in it, yoga, I would have never guessed, man, never. But it was my friend. It was that real person, you know, who we had so much in common in every other way. But he was into yoga. Like, that was what got me to do it. And it actually has been, I'd say it's one of the most important decisions I've made in a long time, because my body feels young and I survived that back injury. You know, I wouldn't have survived that without yoga. No fucking way. Right now, I'd be like crumpled up right now. I wouldn't be going on a fucking tour if it wasn't for yoga. Serious as a fucking heart attack. No fucking way. No way. It wasn't possible. It was a very serious back injury. But I'm cruising, baby. I'm ready to swing the golf club again. I'm ready to do the twisting motion, which is the thing that, you know, it hurts, is the twisting motion when you fuck your back up. But I can do that, man. I'm going to do some drives, man. I like driving the ball, man. I love it. I love in front of the clubhouse, everybody's watching. Everybody's like, the pressure's on. And you're sitting there doing something that's very sensitive, you know. And then you just whack. You keep your mind on the ball. You keep your mind totally clear, and you're just like, whack. And then you're like, fuck yeah, look at that thing go. I love it, man. I love it. All right, guys, I better get going here. We're probably gonna run out of batteries any minute. Charlie, my best Bangkok student, dude, teacher of life, man. You taught me so much. And I love your new videos that you're doing. They're up in northern Thailand. Let's see here, around July 1st. I'll be on tour. Okay, good, man, good. All right, guys, let me get out of here. I'm gonna go get some water, had some breakfast. I'm gonna walk around. We'll check out the surf, actually, see what's going on, because I'm only gonna be here a couple more days, so I want to see if there's what's going on. Today is interesting because it's very local today. It's not a lot of tourists. It's real surf down there. It's fucking real surf, which is good. You know, that's what this is, a fucking surf town, man. And like, it's not some bullshit fucking stand on a board taking an Instagram picture. Like, it's fucking sharks, you know, like fucking, it's real. It's the real deal. A lot of good kids come out of here. A lot of good surfers. Surfing is fucking tough sport, man. It is a fucking tough sport, and it's one of the best. If you guys come, Sandy, here, we can go out on the water. If you guys haven't been out on a board, I get to get on a board. That'd be fucking fun. All right, thanks guys for thanks for being there. Thanks for joining in on the live chat. Appreciate it. Let's see here. How do I turn this thing off? Oh, my screen's not working. No way. No way, guys. Get this. The screen's not working, so I can't stop it. Oh, no. What am I going to do? Holy shit. I got to get a new screen, guys. I dropped this thing. Oh, no. Oh, this is hilarious. Okay, well, I don't know what's going to happen now. Let's see. Yeah, it like literally is not working at all. Let's see. I'm going to try this direction. Orientation is locked. Let's see here. Orientation is locked. Oh, man. This is going to be like the tour. Save your life from suicide. Fuck yeah. Dude, oh, that is so good to hear. Dude, I want to meet you. I want to fucking meet you. Definitely come to something. Make sure you come to something. Whatever it is, wherever it is. Let's see here. Hey, Gabe. What's up, man? Let's see here. Why is this not... Well, I'm trying to turn off the live chat, but I can't because the screen is broken. This is so hilarious. Oh, man, you know what might happen? I might have to go to the end of the battery. And if I do that, this video might not post because it's a weird thing after you go live. Let's see. I don't know what I'm going to do. Anybody have an idea? Any of you guys are YouTubers? Yeah, like literally does not work. Oh, yeah, no. Those numbers, don't trust those numbers. It says 20 viewers, don't trust those numbers. YouTube is shadow banning this channel hardcore. It's not true. Yeah, it's crazy. It's all good because the right guys are here. But you'd be surprised. There's a lot more. You'll see when you see the views later. Yeah, man, this is it. I can't turn it off. There's no way. The only way I can do it, okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to, shit. Yeah, I don't have any options, so I'm going to have to, what I'm going to have to do here. No options on the screen. No, it's like, I got to get, my option is to go to Apple Store, but they've been closed, right? Can't pull the battery on this one. Hey, what's going on? Bill. Let's see here. Let's see. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna turn off the screen, and that'll stop it. But I just praying that it's gonna post this video. This would be a tragedy if it doesn't post. But anyway, we're gonna give it a try. We're gonna give it a try because the same thing will happen if I let the battery run out. Screen is broken. Women like to has every detail. I need somebody to fix the details here. Any person, Genius Bar, come right now. No. Okay. Yeah, this is it. All right, guys. Well, look, thanks for being here. Appreciate it. And I look forward to seeing you guys, meeting you guys, hanging out with you guys. I'm going to try the button here. Nope. It's not working. No way. Oh, this is hilarious. Okay, so here's what I did. I hit the button, turn off the screen, which I thought would turn it down, stop everything, but it doesn't. The live stream is still going on, and I have no idea how much battery I have left. So I could just take you on the rest of my walk. Looks like this is going to be a long live stream. Let's see here. Let's see here. What comments here? Stay connected. Yeah, I think that's my only option. Yeah. It's like the summit, baby. The summit goes on, baby. Yeah, generally the summits are not just scheduled for 3 days, but what I do is I try to get the house that we're going to do the summits in for, let's say, a couple days earlier, a couple days later. So it ends up to be about a week. So anybody who has a summit agrees to that in advance. So you can come a little early, stay a little late. If you do come to the Ozark Summit, shout out to the Ozark guys. I don't know if you guys are Fox, if you guys are on. But I'm really looking forward to that. Sorry for I have been a little bit offline here as far as the summit. Now this here, down here, you guys can start to get a little history here. I used to, when I was a kid, this was like wilderness, right? So I'd come down here, and down here on the left was like a factory. I don't know, how's it going? Hey, it was some kind of a factory or water plant that had been abandoned many years ago. So it had all these wild things in it. We used to break in there as kids and explore in this plant. I almost died in these fields many times. One time we in high school, we stole a car and we were driving it through these bushes, like literally driving it through these bushes, no trail, full speed. And I spun the car. I just had a feeling we were near the edge, and I spun the car to take a piss. Ended up right on the edge there of that cliff, right on the edge. It was a Nissan Honeybee, no seatbelts, and we were probably 15. Yeah, that was a bit sketchy. Oh man, let's see. Here's where the plant was. There used to be a plant here. I don't know if there's any remnants of that plant somewhere. Let's see here. Over here. Yeah, it was somewhere down here. Now this is I just heard the other day. I was out walking late at night, and there's tons of coyotes out here. Tons of coyotes. And they hang out by this water apparently. So right here is where the coyotes are at night. And if you see them, they're fucking huge. They look like German Shepherds or something. They're really big. You'd never believe how big they are. I used to think they were I think they used to be maned mutts, kind of straggly things. But now, no, these guys, they eat well. I don't know if I guess they eat rabbits. They eat everybody's dog and cat around here. Dogs and cats. I guess it makes sense they like the water, yeah. There's not much water in California. Whenever there's water, the animals, they come here. And there's tons of rattlesnakes. Tons of rattlesnakes in here. Oh, there's another thing that was planted. These cactuses, the cacti or whatever you call them. Those were added as a landscape feature. I mean, I don't have anybody to tell me that. I know that because I know this area very well. I've literally been crawling underneath these bushes for miles. out by there's a military base over there, and there's like a highway over there that goes out and if you go out to the highway, you can trek all the way through the wilderness, all the way to the military base. That's what we used to do in high school. That was pretty fun. We had snakes like crazy. Rattlesnakes are everywhere here. Albinos, regular ones, a lot of animals actually. I love the desert. In high school, a lot of weekends I used to just go camping. We'd go hiking miles 3 days in a row. We'd get a backpack. We'd go through these bushes. We fucking ran into so many snakes. I cannot believe. There was one valley that had so many snakes. I think there was 100,000 snakes or more. I think personally, because the sound of the snakes all buzzing at the same time was overwhelming. I could not believe it. It was unbelievable. And we literally had to run. Here's a survival trip. If there's rattlesnakes all over the place, you can run over the top of them, as long as you don't twist your ankle, because a rattlesnake has to curl up in order to strike. Believe it or not, he doesn't have the strength. If you pick him up by the tail, he can't bend over and he can't bend up and bite you. They don't have that kind of strength. So rattlesnakes, we literally had to run over the back of rattlesnakes. I almost twisted my ankle. Big fucking fat ones too. Because there were so many around us, we had to get the fuck out of there. Yeah, a lot of experiences here. Some women are like snack, some sneak technique. Did you imagine you would end up back here? Well, you know, it's good to be back here, man. I'm really enjoying it actually right now. You said that women, biggest, let's see, motivate, let's see, staying fit, but now relate to abundance and MGTOW. Well, you know, the thing is with motivation is you use anything you can. See, if you start picking and choosing motivations, you're out of your mind. Like, you know, to get motivated to do something hard, not easy. Use any trick you can. Any trick that you can do it so that you can, you know, be properly motivated to get something done. Yeah, if the idea of pussy gets you motivated, then just use that. You know, if the idea of revenge gets you motivated, you know, use that. Don't be afraid, man. Don't be afraid of your dark side. See, most men are afraid of their dark side. That's why they don't get anything done. They're afraid of their whether it's, you know how men's dark side, right? All the different sides, right? They're afraid of that. So they're like, oh, I'm not going to use that. I can't use that, or I can't do that logically. And then they shut themselves down. Your deepest desires, your most passionate emotions are what give you the motivation to actually do things. This is why everybody's a fat guy at Starbucks now, is because they're so out of touch with their emotions. Of course it's okay to use women, pussy, as a motivator. Of course. It doesn't even matter if you get any. You can use it as a motivator. You know, or for gay guys, can use guys, whatever. Whatever it is, it works. You got it. You can't be like, oh, I don't use that because I'm like this, and I have a label. I'm called a MGTOW, and that means this, and that means I can't do that. It's like, man, dude, the real world, you need the juice, man. You need the fucking juice. Like, are you fucking ripped? Are you working out today? Are you gonna fucking destroy it? You need that. Whatever that is that gets you to do that. That's what you fucking need. If you don't have that, then don't worry about how you get it. You'll get the motivation when you feel your real passion, your real dark side, your real, you know, what you do with it doesn't even matter. It just motivates you to do it. You might be, like, for example, you might use that to motivate yourself to get in shape and then to do something totally different with it once you get in shape. See, it's not that you have to follow through with it. You're using juice. See, if you got fucking juice, that's valuable. That's very rare. Like, fucking, that is not common in life. So something that gets you motivated, gets you angry, gets you upset, gets you horny, gets you, you know, wanting to get out of there, fight or flight, whatever it is. Those type of feelings, those are the things that give you, that's where you're like, you're hitting that gym, right? You're really doing it, right? Is what most guys do is they don't have any motivation and they wonder why they can't work out. They go to the gym and they're trying to, like, logically, I got to do this machine and that machine. It's like, fuck all that, man. I'll take a guy who just wants to fucking go back and, like, you know, you remember the old ad in the 70s, right? The fucking bully kicks sand on the guy and then he wants revenge on the bully. That was the most successful ad for working out in history. Charles Atlas. That fucking ad hit home with so many people. Was it good? Is it good to want to beat up somebody? No. But is it a real feeling? Like, not that you're going to do it, see, but you feel like, fuck these bullies. Fuck these guys kicking sand on me. These fucking assholes, I'm going to fucking, you know, and then he's like, just, he works out. And then once he gets confident, see, part of the reason why he's so angry is because he knows he's a pussy, right? So once he becomes not a pussy, then he doesn't even need to fight the guy because he's like, he can kick the guy's ass, no problem. So he's no longer, the motivation is gone. Because now he's the man. You know? Now he's the fucking man. He's like, whatever. We fucking fly on the windshield, you know? Like, what about that guy? You're like, who? Oh, that guy. Yeah, oh yeah. He's all right. Yeah, whatever. He does his thing, Is because he doesn't feel any more insecurities, right? So the thing is you got to use the motivation. It's not that you're making commitment to the motivation. You're using the motivation to motivate your body to do something, man. And if it's the smell of pussy, I love the smell of pussy, Like the smell of pussy, man, I love that. I love the smell of girls, armpits, fucking pussy, everything. I like smells, That's very motivational for me, I'm fuck porn. I can just smell a girl's underarm or fucking smell her body, and I fucking get super horny. It's one of the most simple, for me, it's like just dead simple, 100% accurate. There's something about the olfactory organs or the brain, the nose, the sense of smell that just gets me all fired up. And all of a sudden, it's all real for me. And I'm just like, logically, underarms don't smell good, But when I smell it, I breathe it in, like 2 or 3 seconds later, I'm all of a sudden, I'm fucking super fucking randy, right? It's like, it's real, So use the motivation, man, whatever it is, Don't fucking worry about that. Spend your whole life fucking trying to figure out what should motivate you. I can guarantee you don't have any motivation. That question, it's because like you're trying to pick and choose. Like you can't pick and choose some shit, man. We are animals. Humans are animals. We have hearts and eyes and fingers and legs, just like fucking animals. Like that. Listen, we have the way that you succeed in these physical things, right? These things is by using what you have, right? Not a computer. You might think it is, but it's not. Part of your body, part of your brain, your cerebral cortex is something like a computer. But the rest of the brain, most of the brain is an emotional brain. It's and then you have the limbic brain, right? You have the most basic brain, right? It's not all one. You're not just a logical thing. Emotions probably drive most of your buying decisions. If you buy a truck, it's fucking emotion. You look at that truck and you're like, fuck, I'm gonna be the man with that truck. That big fucking hunting knife, fucking hunter, right? That's emotion. That's not logic. You don't need that fucking knife. You could use a butter knife for most of the same stuff. But there's it's emotion, It's not emotion like people talk about in MGTOW. It's the real thing that motivates you to do most things in life. Is emotion, So ride that emotion. Be honest with yourself. Be a fucking beast in life, Let's see here. Brain connected here. Yeah, motivation, man. It's I think it's all about finding what makes you upset or super crazy, like jealous or like horny or hungry or bored or like actually bored is not a good example, but it's like these primal things. It's like these are the type of things that I use. Like, what I mean? Like when I was a kid, I started working out because I didn't want, okay, I got 10% battery left. When I was a kid, I didn't want a bully to bully me around. Just like that ad, Charles Atlas. I was just like that Charles Atlas. And I was like, this fucking guy is not going to bully me anymore. I'm going to get strong. I was in 6th grade. I'm like, I'm going to get strong and this motherfucker's not going to bully me anymore. No fucking way. Fuck this shit. My mom asked me what I wanted for my birthday. I said I wanted weights, So we went to Sears and I got a fucking 100-pound, 90 pounds of weights plus a bar and a bench. And I started lifting weights. And my teacher, he had a weightlifting thing at lunchtime, and I fucking tried as hard as I could. And I felt really weak, compared to the teacher. I felt like an idiot and I pushed through it. But it was that motivation. That fucking bully's not going to win. He's not going to win. It's an ugly motivation. Women don't like these kind of motivations. These are what men need. We need these, like, if you want to get through a war, if you want to be the captain of in touch with this big stuff, because this big stuff makes it easy. That's the thing. The motivation is it's just a given. Once you've got them, once you're in touch, you have everything it takes to be an absolutely motivated person. but it's an ugly way. It's a dirty way. It's a hard way. It's a specific to you way. That's how you get real motivation. And it's a way that not a lot of people talk about, but you know it's true, right? You know, when you want to do something, when you're motivated, you know, it's like it's not motivated by like some desire to be in home and garden or some shit. You know what I mean? It's like some other kind of more darker motivation. Ride that fucking beast, you know? Just ride that beast, you know? Wherever it takes you. You know, that's definitely the way to go, man. Definitely. Fuck yeah. 100%. 100%. Okay, I'm gonna try again. Dude, I'm gonna try to turn this thing off. No, it's not gonna work. Damn it. Oh, there we go. There we go. Yeah. What's nice about this beach here is it's very close to shore. So, you know, you don't have to go very far to get out to the water to surf. So for example, see how close these guys are? They're like right there, right? So right there, you can paddle out in 3 seconds. This is a very rare break. That's why I love this break. It's easy breezy, man. Here comes the fucking train. Okay, there we go. This is the fucking train. I almost died on when I was 15. Man, I can't, it was close, man. Very fucking close to dying on the tracks. Very fucking close. I took some videos yesterday. This guy's good on a longboard. This guy's good. There's not many young guys who ride a longboard, so he probably is competitive. A lot of competitive surfers here. A lot of competitive surfers this town. So when you see a guy out here, you don't even know who it is. It could be like world famous guy, because they all come here because it's a surf contest. So you literally, you never know who's out in the water here. I've met like Sean Thompson, Mark Richards. Let's see, this is back in the day, and let's see who else. Oh, what was that guy's name? Shane Horan, Australian guy, and there was another guy. There was one guy I really liked his style. He died. I can't remember his name now. I met him out here. Oh man, we're out of juice. It's like I'm down to almost nothing, and I can't. I never met Kelly Slater. No, I never met Kelly Slater. I met Pete Townend, the first world champion surfer in 1975. He got the first world crown, and he's in that great book, Busting Down the Door. You guys ever seen that movie, Busting Down the Door? You guys, if you're gonna see a surf movie, that's a good one. But it's a great story. I won't give it away. If you haven't seen it, Busting Down the Door, about Australians in Hawaii. Oh, it's a great movie, and very accurate too. Because I was surfing, and I knew what was going on back then. Great story. Oh, here you go. This guy's fucking doing it. See, he's very, very natural there. See, he caught that. Oh, there he goes. Oh, I couldn't quite get. See, he lost no juice. No juice on that wave. Now here's a guy in a shortboard, right? So it's a different kind of thing. See how the movements are? That's called an off the lip, if you guys don't know. There's like cutbacks, off the lips. And today is like, these are kind of peaks. So it's kind of peaky. You can see like it breaks both ways. Let's see. See, there's like, you can go that way. Some of the ways are like, they're like break all at once. It's called walled off, right? Today's not walled off. Today's got some decent shape. Yesterday was better though. Yesterday was insane. Yesterday was overhead. It was fucking huge. Powerful too. Not as powerful today. But I heard it was going to be a swell, 2-week swell. But it hasn't happened. Oh man, I still can't get rid of this fucking thing. What I'm afraid of is it's not going to go live. Damn it, damn it, damn it. Oh man. I guess the only thing I can do, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to turn off the app and then see if it starts processing. God, cross your fingers. Cross your fingers. Let's see here. No, let's go this. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. You drive me crazy. Okay. Okay, I'm going to do this. No, it ain't doing it, man. Fuck. Yeah, I can restart the phone, but the thing is after the live stream, it has to process and then upload. That's what I'm worried about. Okay, this is it, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna turn off the app. Thank you very much for being on the stream.